Good morning. My first thing I have to say today is whatever happened to midnight launches and premieres of movies and video games and so on and so forth, all the entertainment media. This has been a big question that's been on my mind. In fact, it's been on my mind frequently throughout many years, but it's one of those questions that just keep resurfacing, and I thought about it again this week. And my unresearched answer is that I just kind of always accepted that it was deemed too dangerous because of like shootings or something, like security related. And I just have like a lot of memories, especially like if you think about like Harry Potter movies always had these big midnight releases. I remember going and watching, I think all but the first one, or maybe the first and second one, are the only ones I didn't see as a midnight release. And I remember growing up that as these movies were released, we would do, well, I would force the family to do marathons of the movie leading up to when we needed to go get in line. And there would be, and then when we did get in line, we'd bring our big back CRTV TVs with some kind of DVD player, and we would plug it into the side outlets of movie theaters, and then in line we would all crowd around and watch the Harry Potter movies there too. Like, it was always this big old event when we did midnight releases. People would be lined up all day for it. We'd have like friends or like family drive hot chocolate by to keep us warm or something, because it was always like in November when it was way too cold to be doing this. And somehow we never got snowed out. I think we always got lucky on those nights. But I just remember it being this big old spectacle where it built a whole lot of excitement and anticipation around the movie, because you knew you were surrounded by other hardcore fans, and people would be doing like face painting or like temporary tattooing, just all sorts of things just to make the time pass. And you'd have lots of conversations and about the franchise, whether it was Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or whatever that midnight release was. I just remember it being such a big deal. And so it's always bummed me out that like they don't have these anymore. Like, I feel like they'd be great for Marvel releases or other bigger franchises like that, right? Anyway, I finally decided, after years and years of thinking about this question, that I should look it up. And I can't find any official article or statement as to why it seems that studios or movie theaters, whose ever fault it is not willing to do midnight releases anymore. I found a few commonly believed reasons as to why they're not willing to do it anymore. And among those, the kind of like top three reasons that I was finding online was it's not a great time for student audiences, like high school and some college students. They don't want to go to a midnight release. They've got other things to be worrying about. And that's why apparently it got pushed to 11 and then 10, 9, and now, releases are 8 o'clock. The second reason I saw was declining attendance at midnight releases. That's one where that's just huge speculation. I feel like we'd have to see numbers to believe that one. And the last one was me being right on the nose. It's also very commonly believed that midnight releases have gone away because of security concerns, in particular around theater shootings. Go America. That is, guns have ruined our midnight releases. It's unfortunate because I think that the energy and excitement that comes with a line in which everyone is mutually excited about something is something that is missing from big series nowadays, in a way that I think standing in that line and people being in costume and people excitedly talking about why they love the series or the franchise or whatever, I think it subconsciously makes those first movie watchers like the movie more. And so many people base their decision on whether they're going to go watch this movie and whether or not they're going to be excited for it on what the first few people who watch it say. I think those first people at the premiere, their opinions permeate online, and then we make our decisions about whether or not, I was already on the fence. Everyone's saying, no, I'm not going to go see it, right? Unless you're spiteful, and then you go see it just because everyone said they didn't like it. Me. And I think it's just I think it might be something that could help franchises that are struggling, cough cough, Marvel, if there were ways to build excitement around that and capture that energy of midnight releases from 10, 15, God, definitely not 10, I'd say closer to like 15 years ago now was the last time I saw a midnight release or heard about it. Yeah, it's just been something on my mind, and I've just been thinking about it a lot. But the next thing I have to talk about is stress. So, I was Faith was gone for, I don't know, 6 days, 5 days. Let's see, 5 days, right? And she got back, and we were just catching up. And at some point, I started saying how I was working on one thing, and it ended with, quote, basically, so I'm stressing that, or how I needed to make decisions on different things, and saying, like, it's stressing me out. So pretty soon after this catch up, we ran to get groceries because the only food I had in this house was food I needed for cooking videos. And obviously, a lot of that does not work with Faith. It was essentially just ingredients for some hot dogs and my Thai food. So not really things for Faith, and there's just not a lot left to make any meals. So we went grocery shopping, and when we were going back, when we were driving back, I said that I don't know, I just said, man, I'm stressed. And she says, oh, no shit, I heard. And I was just kind of like, well, what the fuck does that mean? And then I realized how much I was just saying I was stressed. And it also all came because I realized that my body's like at a stress limit. And so I don't know, like this is a problem for me. I'm just bringing it up because it was heavily pervasive this week for me. But I have these physical reactions to stress. And in the last like 5 years, what those have morphed into is like grinding my teeth in my sleep so hard that my like jaw will be sore for the entire next like 2 days. And I have like a mouth guard for it now, but that I use specifically for these situations. But I realized when I said that in the car, oh, I think I'm stressed, it was because I was like feeling my jaw, and I was like, oh my God, that's what's happening here. And the other physical reaction that I have to a kind of overloaded stress is I get these big honking massive knots in my shoulders and my neck, and they are so goddamn painful. I remember in college though, like the physical reaction that I would have in college would be like, it was especially around testing season, and I would like rub my ankles together and then throughout the entire test, and then I wouldn't realize until like test week was over, and I've got raw ankles and they're hurting like hell. So this is like I said, another thing that's just been on my mind a lot this week because my jaw has been sore all week and I'm stressed out. So not healthy. There's nothing I can really do to stop it. It'll just come like a wave and then go away. So hopefully by next week, I'm not as stressed out. Okay, following up from last week, I have another movie that I need to talk about, and this time it's Lilo and Stitch. I was initially very skeptical with Stitch's appearance. I did not like it. And then, like, I saw some more promotional images or whatever, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better about this. And then I saw the trailer, and I lost my interest again. And now stick with me on my complaints here. First of all, a lot of these are common internet complaints, so I'm late to the party here. But Cobra Bubbles is not nearly scary enough or intimidating. And that's kind of the whole point of his character. And I feel like it was just missed. Second, Pleakley is no longer yassified. She's no longer a queen in drag, and that's a huge miss. And I'm very, very confident that this is Disney playing to our current political climate. But they're aliens, and I think they could do the drag and not get blowback. So Disney is being a goddamn coward. Overall, by vast majority, I think the casting choice is really good. I'd have only made a couple of changes, i.e. like Cobra Bubbles. Or for instance, the ice cream man in the movie who like is constantly losing his ice cream to Lilo and Stitch's antics. They changed him to a native Hawaiian, which yay, good. Of course, we want accurate representation, but there's a reason that he's a white man. And that reason is that Lilo is taking pictures of white tourists because they are supposed to be a spectacle to her. And it's supposed to be kind of a commentary on white tourists in Hawaii. And they chose to take that out entirely. And I'm like, there's a reason his character is white. And I'm not complaining because like, they took a white guy out. What the hell? Brr. No, I don't care about that. What I care about is that it's the entire point of his character. And I felt like it was a really unnecessary change. And the last thing I'd like to complain about, I cannot personally attest to this because I do not know Hawaiian geography, but I have seen native Hawaiian TikTokers saying the mountains in the trailer aren't even the right ones. And I feel like that's kind of a major detail for the movie to have messed up. Yes, it's a background thing, but if you're going to be doing this whole movie and talk about how you're wanting to do diversity, blah, 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 I feel like maybe we should be careful about filming in the right places and having the right mountains in the background. I feel like that might have been important. And even if you couldn't film in the right place, you could have CGI'd in, or you could have just, like, Photoshopped their goddamn right mountains into the background, right? So I feel like there's a lot of like key points here that Disney is just messing up. And of course, I'm complaining about it, but I'm probably going to pirate it since this was one of my top Disney movies as a kid. I want to at least see it. I've also said the same thing about Mulan, Lion King, Jungle Book, pretty much all the live action remakes, and I've never actually gone and watched any of them, but I'm gonna at least try on this one, right? I'm just annoyed about it, and this seems like an easy cash grab, and somehow they still messed it up. So, anyways, you know what? No, I just looked at my notes. Another thing about movies. The internet seems imbued with the conspiracy theory that the new Looney Tunes movie is purposely not being marketed because they want it to fail to be used as proof against something, and I keep trying to tell people maybe your algorithms are just messed up because I have seen more ads for it than most movies this year. And every time I see a dumbass TikTok or another comment saying, I haven't seen any advertisement for it, well, maybe that's because our social media is hardcore dominated by algorithms. And if you don't see something, it's probably because your algorithm is not built to see it. So maybe if you're not seeing it, we should search for it. Therefore, the algorithm then takes it into account. And you can also find for yourself whether or not advertisements exist for it. And I will say, I have seen plenty of advertisements, and I've seen plenty of people talking about the movie and not saying that there is no advertisements, that people are like, oh, I'm going to go see this movie. It looks blah, 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 right? It's really frustrating me, and I'm fighting for my life in these comments, trying to tell people, no, you are wrong. Sure, maybe the advertisement budget is very small. Yeah, that definitely seems to be the case. But there are things being said. There is marketing material out there. I'm so frustrated, and I'm fighting for my life in these goddamn TikTok comments. But I say fighting for my life, and what I mean is I'm just furiously saying, like, what are you talking about? Fix your algorithm. And then no one's actually commenting back, which is very weird for TikTok. I feel like people have been very confrontational on that social media platform. Now, if I was saying this on Facebook, I'm sure I'd be getting plenty of angry comments back. Anyway, okay, the last thing that I wanted to bring up, and it's not really a fully fleshed out component. I don't think I'm going to be thinking about it very long. But regional clothing here in the United States, right? Okay, so if we look at the Northwest, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, it was for many years we had the millennial flannel. That was kind of like this region's clothing, right? And now I would say it's probably crew necks. I think everyone has a plethora of crew necks laying around. And other than Texas, this is the only place that I actually have any frame of reference or can point to for regional clothing. And it was entirely brought up only to lead me into this next point of talking about the Texas regional clothing, which is very special to them and much more of a better example of regional clothing. And that is the short sleeve light hoodie. If you have never seen one of these, I need you to look it up, because these things, I swear to God, only exist in the state of Texas. And they are amazing. They're extremely comfortable. They are surprisingly all season. They work for you year round. And it's exactly like I said. It's a short sleeve, like a t-shirt, about t-shirt length sleeves on the left and right. And then it's got a hoodie. So it's like, it's just like a slightly heavier and more comfortable t-shirt that someone went and added a hood to it. And maybe that sounds ridiculous to you, but just look it up. And I'm telling you, I have only ever seen these in Texas. Anyone online that's wearing one always has like a Buc-ee's logo on it. I've only ever seen anyone wearing this in the state of Texas. And I'm just saying that if I love these things, right? Love these things. I would wear the shit out of them if I could find them around here, but they do not sell them around here. So if I ever did a merch drop for anything, and I have no plans of doing it, I'm just wanting an excuse to have one of these. But if I ever did anything like a merch drop, I would do the half sleeve hoodie, because like I said, they are comfortable and they are all season, and I love these things. And I'm very tempted to turn a few of my sweatshirts into these damn things, because I would love to wear them around my house. Okay, that's all the topics I had. A couple housekeeping items. One, I tried to wait a little bit longer today and then a little bit further into my cup of coffee to do this episode, because when I go back to edit these episodes, sometimes I'm like, God, I just sound like I'm half asleep. I have no energy in this at all. And that's not the vibe I want, like it's still a casual Saturday morning coffee conversation, right? But it just seemed like I was like, the energy in it was low, and I wasn't liking that. So maybe I'm hoping when I go back and edit this, I feel differently. And I hope you also feel like this was a little bit more animated and a little bit more enjoyable to listen to. Not quite so monotone. Yeah, I said that right. And the other thing is, Monday will not have a bonus podcast episode. Instead, we are doing a bonus hot dog episode because it is St. Patrick's Day here in the United States. And in celebration of that, I have a St. Patrick's Day hot dog or brat that I'll be making. And I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to taste delicious. And of course, I need to leave you off with something to listen to. I have a plan this week to sit down and listen to a handful of new podcast recommendations. So I'm going to go through those and find out if there's any worth sharing with you. But in the meantime, I have another song for you. And let me just pull it up real quick. All right, today's song recommendation, and I'm going to preface it that it does not have any profound lyrics. It does not have some game-changing or innovative guitar riff. It is just a good old throw on your country party playlist, and I'm recommending it because I don't think that I have recommended a country song yet. So to do a little genre breaking, the song is called Hell Yeah, I Like Beer by Kevin Fowler. And that is where I'm going to leave you off today. Thank you so much for joining me for Saturday Morning Coffee.